So here I am, March 30th in Kiev. That's the view from my apartment. And this is my studio apartment. Has this pretty good work desk here, right next to the balcony. Very pleasant. And here's some work I've been doing here. There's some sketches I did, and the final piece right there. And you can see this piece of glass here. It's very handy. I turn the flashlight on the phone, put it underneath, and I've got a light table. Here I am continuing my drawing. I've got a sketch here. It's a lovely day. There's a little bit of snow blowing out there on the last day of March. So I've drawn my sketch, and I'm not in my studio back home, but here in Kiev, traveling, I'm still keeping up my drawing. And I brought some material with me. This is a clay board, and I've done quite a lot of work here. I've managed to average about one a week. It's a method similar to what I use back home. I don't have tracing paper, which is usually what I put the sketches on, but just regular printer paper works just fine. So I have the sketch. I have a piece of white Conti crayon here, and I rub some of the white Conti crayon on the back, and then use a 5H pencil. So basically I'm just tracing my work, and you can see that that leaves lines for me to follow when I go in with my sharp tools on the clay board. And here we are with a little bit more of the sketch, transferring sketch to final. I used the tool on the clay board, like so. So here I am working on the clay board after having traced some guidelines. I trace a few at a time because it's easy to rub them off. So I work in sections. And do a bit more. Having traced over some of my lines, now I'm working with my modified steel engraving tool here. So I move around a lot to get the right angle. I'm not used to doing this for a camera. So here is the artwork, the black and white base. Back home I would put this on a scanner and import it to my iMac and work on it in Photoshop. Here that's all replaced by this, by the iPad. I go to an app. This is a scanner. I'm going to put something to prop the iPad on because I can't use both hands because I'm using this phone. So I set this up like so. It takes 3 pictures. It makes a composite. And there we have the scan. So now I use an app called Procreate and this Apple Pencil. This is a drawing program. This was introduced to me by Dan McCluskey, a gifted cartoonist and son of Kevin McCluskey, another gifted cartoonist and illustrator. I can do things like take a color and add it and do it. I can make little corrections. I can make big corrections. Here I've added some color to the figures. I've also added some layers, like so. These can be changed. And it's done. So I send it off to the Tribune Media Syndicate, and my illustration for this week is done.